Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Crafting with Emily and I am Emily. My goal here is always to create a welcoming and safe place, and I hope that's what we'll do today. Today I am doing a WIP and chat. So WIP stands for work in progress. I'm going to work on my current project. I'm going to chat a little bit about what's been going on in my life. You can sit back and enjoy. You can work on the craft that you're currently working on. You can enjoy this video however you choose to do so. If you have joined me on this channel before, you will notice that my wall is no longer beige. It's purple now. Fantastic. I'm so pleased. This is what I did with my previous weekend. I did pay for it greatly. If you've been following the painting saga, it's taken me about 4 months to get my living room painted, to get all of the walls of my living room painted, but we are finally complete. And I have some of my completions on the wall behind me. I'm so pleased. So excited to have the wall completed. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but so excited that it's not just beige behind me. I am actually not working on my Hannah Lynn today. You'll see her judging us behind me. So let me turn the camera around. I'll show you what I'm working on today. And we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, you guys are looking down at my workspace now. I'll explain how this came to be in a moment, but what we are working on today is Miss You by Michelle Zia and Muni Made. This is a gorgeous canvas. Here is a much smaller version of the original art. We are kind of up here in this space. And actually what I'm going to do is spin this canvas back around so that she is upside down. And we're going to finish this section that I started this morning when I was drinking my coffee. I don't know if we'll get to this section together, but we can definitely finish this one. So pleased with how this is turning out, and I'll tell you a little bit more about how we got to almost having this completed and forsaking my Hannah Lynn. Okay, now we are upside down, or our beautiful canvas is upside down, which is kind of cheating. All right, so for this, I am using my 3D printed pen by Cosmic Crafts by Kay. I'm using, for the wax, this is my sample still from Patty Wax of their super sticky wax in the single placer tip. And then I am using Nebula Artistry's Marshmallow Putty. This one is blue. I have several of their putties. I really enjoy these. It's kind of an interesting texture on some of them, but I'm really enjoying them. And this cover minder is also from Nebula Artistry. Because I was using my Art Dot jars for the Hannah Lynn canvas, I'm using my Art Dot sort of Tic Tac containers for this, which has proven to be kind of a challenge. We've succeeded, but it has proven to be a challenge. I did end up, because there are so many of these dark blues, I did end up busting out my Dreamer Designs, my big Dreamer Designs trays. Sorry, let me scoot my chair up. And so that has been really helpful because I was able to dump, basically I had a lot of, wow, talking is hard. The chatting part of this WIP and chat, not going great. So the 939, obviously a good example, right? It's a navy blue, basically, very dark color, almost black. So I had a lot more than would fit into one of our little Tic Tac containers. So basically what happened is that Muni Made does an excellent job. I actually have her sticker sheet still. Let me grab this for you. So I saved it because I thought I might need it, but her sticker sheets come with The stickers, as you might imagine, with just the sequential number and then the symbol and then the DMC code. But then she also includes a sticker of just the symbol. So that's what I put on all of these containers. And then if I had ones that were in such quantities that they didn't fit in the Tic Tac containers, then I put this sticker onto a plastic baggie and then stored them in another like tray type container. And then as I realized which ones I would need frequently, they ended up going into the Dreamers trays. So that's sort of how we managed that. By we, I mean I. I don't know why I always say we. The other challenge that I found with the little Tic Tac containers was that, at least at first, I was struggling to pour everything back into the container. And so I was working out of sort of the traditional tiny trays that would come from like a low quality diamond painting kit, maybe. And then finally I realized, like, you only need this to funnel them back into this container. So you can put them in whatever, you can dump them from here into whatever tray you prefer. And then once they need to go back into here, you then dump them from, a Diamond Art Club tray or a Dreamer tray or a 3D printed tray, whatever I prefer, back into here, and then use it to funnel back in. And then some of the trays I eventually managed to make it work, so it go back in. Anyway, it's been fun. Okay. Are those all my tools? What is happening? Okay. So let me zoom you in. I zoomed you out because I had so many things to show you. Look at this gigantic cat hair. Is that a cat hair or is it my hair? That's a cat hair. It's hard to tell sometimes. Okay, ready? Zoop. Let me pull you over just a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I left all the specials out. I like to do the specials last. This diamond painting has some beautiful specials. So there are these glow in the dark. Wow, what is wrong with me? There's this glow in the dark drills here, and then there's one AB as well. So let's finish this section, which is all this color blocking, and then we'll come back, we'll fill in the specials, and then we'll move on to the next section. Okay, excuse me. So let's talk about why I'm doing this canvas. This is a gorgeous canvas. I think I mentioned the artist is Michelle Zia. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. I got this from Muni Made. Beautiful canvas. Do I want this in it? Yeah, let's do it in this one. Beautiful canvas. So I have a hard time in July. July is a hard month for me. I'll explain a little bit more in a little while, but I already had sort of a commemorative canvas picked out for myself to complete for July. And I happened to be on, oh, sorry, did I bump you? I definitely did. Hang on just one moment. Okay, I think that'll work better. Sorry. We were too close. So I already had a canvas picked out for myself to complete for July, like a commemorative canvas. And I was on Muni Made's website looking for something else, and I saw that this canvas had restocked. And I wanted it so badly, but it's such a sad image. And I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I finally decided, this all happened in the space of like 90 seconds. That this is really gorgeous. I don't think I can have this image hanging in my house. I like to hang up most of my completions. So I ended up contacting a family member who has been through a pretty significant loss. And I asked, actually, well, anyway, I contacted a family member, like, oh, would you want this as an art piece for your house once this is finished? And it turned out that they did want it. And there were some elements of the image that would hold significance for them as well. So I grabbed it. And bless Muni Maid, she shipped it so fast. So as soon as it arrived, I think like the 13th, and I started it on the 14th. And I have not stopped working on it. I was like, I really thought I would do what I've seen other people do with multiple projects. Because up to this point, I've only done one canvas at a time. And so in my head, I thought, okay, well, I'll do like a couple sections or a row. That's what I've seen other people do. I'll do a row of this canvas, and then I'll go back to my beautiful Hannah Lynn painting, and I'll do a row of that. I have not stopped working on this canvas since I got it. I basically kitted it up the day after I got it, and I've been working on it ever since. So, a little bit obsessive. So, I mentioned that July is sort of a difficult month for me. So I will be talking about loss, but if you want to skip, you can probably skip 5 minutes or so. July is kind of a hard month for me. So in 2020, early 2020, I adopted a cat. And I named her Lily. And Lily was so old. I had been looking, I was still in law school at the time, and I had been looking for a senior cat because I thought that it was just me, and I thought a senior cat would be a good fit because they would just want to sit and, stare out the window, and then it wouldn't matter that I had kind of a busy schedule and wouldn't be able to be home all the time like it would matter for a kitten or a younger cat. So I had been searching Pet Finder for a senior cat, and I had seen her photo and just sort of fallen in love. And so by the time I applied to adopt her, it was sort of too late. Like I was already sold on her. And so when the rescue contacted me and explained that she was 17 years old, it was like way too late. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess, yeah, fine. Like, I don't know what I thought I was gonna do. Uh, it just, it was also one of those things of like, well, no one else. The lady at the rescue was like, "We really thought we were gonna keep this cat forever. We're so thrilled that you applied." I'm like, "Well, I applied because you didn't put any information on the website. Who would have thought?" What are you? Why? Whatever. Anyway, um, she's like, "Well, we'll come and meet her." So I went. It was right at the beginning of the pandemic. The pandemic hadn't started. It had just started in earnest, sort of like the day that I went and picked up Lily, the cat. Um, like my two tasks that day were like buy masks question mark and pick up or like go meet this cat. Um, I don't know if I made it clear or finished this thought earlier. But my other thought was like, who else is gonna adopt an old cat? Like I have the ability, and that's fine for me. Like this is a fine task for me to do. do. So that had been my original sentiment. And then, of course, she's 1,000 years old. Anyway, so I go and meet her, and she looked at me sort of like, who are you? Like, what are you looking at? And I was like, I'm in love. I love this cat. I have to have her. So I adopted her. And I named her Lily. Her name was not Lily before that. And so, she was so wonderful, so wonderful. She was a Siamese cat, and I didn't have any experience with Siamese cats before that. I grew up pretty rural area, and so my experience, I had worked with different humane societies up until then, and so, but generally cats just kind of appear. Like, for me, in my experience, you just kind of like go, what kind of cat do you want? Like an orange one or like a gray one? Yeah. So the lady at the rescue was like, oh, she was so excited, telling me about all of these special things about her as like a purebred Siamese. And so I got psyched out, and I was telling my friend, like, what if I don't know? Like, there's all these things I don't know about Siamese cats. And so finally my friend was like, well, she's still just a cat, right? I'm like, oh yeah, I guess. So this 17-year-old cat became my like very best friend because of course she did. I mean, we just I loved her so much. We both loved each other. And of course, middle of the pandemic, we spent certainly a lot more time together than I had ever expected because all of a sudden I wasn't going to class anymore, and I wasn't going to work all the time. I was going to work like a day a week instead of 3 or 4 days a week. I was working remote a lot of the time, and I wasn't going to campus at all. All of my school was online, and so we spent a lot more time together than I expected. And so we just became best friends. I mean, you would bond with any cat, but like, I'm just trying to explain. Like, I had expected, I had chosen to adopt a senior cat, thinking I wasn't going to be home, but due to the pandemic, I was home all the time, and so we just had this like very deep bond. And then, so that same year in July of 2020, my grandmother passed away, and I was close with both of my grandmothers. I never met either of my grandfathers, but I was close with both of my grandmothers. But one of my grandmothers lived with us growing up, so I had never had a babysitter because it was always my grandmother, and I guess I don't want to like say too much, just because it's not all of my memories to share. But she was a wonderful grandmother, and like really had, especially when I was very little, like really like put some magic into things. And she had a big impact on me being interested in gardening and wildlife and the outdoors. So, and it was a huge loss for me. So that happened for me in July of 2020, and then later that year, Lily, my cat, was diagnosed with intestinal cancer, which is really common for cats. Older cats, it's not an uncommon diagnosis for older cats. And she did pretty well with treatment for a while. But the following July, I had to say goodbye. And that was this like July 3rd of 2021. And this has been way more than 5 minutes. If you only skipped ahead 5 minutes, I'm so sorry. My God. I'll have to put a note. More than 5 minutes. So, that was the same year I was taking the bar, and the way that most people structure their bar exam study schedule is that you start studying in the spring, but then if you're working, most people are working. If you're working, you take the month of July off if you can. And most like clerkships or whatever prepare for their clerks, their interns, whatever, their law students basically to be off in July if they're about to take the bar. So they can study up to the end of July to take the bar exam. So it was basically like I think that year July 4th was like a Sunday. So I worked that week. That week was, I think it was like the end of June. So like that Saturday, I think was June 3rd. I said goodbye to Lily. And then that's basically, I like screamed at the clouds for the rest of the weekend. And then on Monday, like get it in gear and start studying for the bar. And you like study like a psycho for the next 3 weeks. And then the bar exam is that year, it was July 27th and 28th because my grandmother passed away on the 28th. So the second day of the bar exam was like the 1 year anniversary of my grandmother passing away. So, I passed the bar exam, which was good. So the following year, in July, I was like, I'm so miserable. I'm so sad. I'm so angry at everyone. Like, what is going on? And I don't remember if it was like the end of July before I figured it out, or my therapist figured it out. Someone finally was like, don't you have like a ton of like sadness and panic from July of the previous 2 years? I was like, oh, maybe. And then the following year, it happened again where I made it like several weeks into July being like very angry before I was like, oh, right, it's July. Like something about it, like my brain, some subconscious part of my brain was like, well, we can't trust July anymore. So, which is like dumb, but also totally something my brain would do. So I also think, I was telling my friend the other day, I think July is a tough month for a lot of people. I think it's like the January of summer. I think it's very similar to January in that it's a very long month. Like there's a big holiday at the beginning of the month, and then it's just everyone's sort of trudging through the rest of the month. They're done with the season. Everyone's like, okay, I'm tired of being hot. We're good now. Let's get to the next part. So I think July is like kind of a difficult month for everyone. I just have like, my brain is like, bad things are gonna happen. Which is not true. But I had the point of this. I have recognized this. And where did it go? There it is. I had picked out another canvas. I was going to do Bluefield Memories. That was going to be my like catharsis diamond painting for this month. I totally missed a drill right here. Do you see it? But then when I saw that this one was, oh no, I picked it up by accident. Go back. When I saw this one was in stock, I was like, I need to do it, but I don't want to keep it. And so I was so glad when I found someone who was like, yeah, I want that when you're done. Great. So I just haven't been able to stop working on it once I got it. I'll have already put some photos up of Lily. She was so sweet. What's funny about all of that? No, it's not funny. What's funny about the bar is that because I had that like exhausting experience right after losing Lily, is that I think I adopted Tulip at the end of August or maybe like middle of September. It was not very long. And my therapist pointed out, like, you're adopting another cat pretty soon. Like, you've recovered pretty quickly. And I was like, no, it's been months. He was like, no, it hasn't. And I had to look at my journal and I was like, oh, it just feels like it's been months. Like, anything that happens around the bar exam, you're like, oh, it's been months. But Tulip's name was already Tulip, which is part of how I sort of knew she was the right fit. She also just sort of came barreling up to me and was like, hello, I'm coming home with you now. And I was like, okay, sure. She really did. It was really cute. She did. She just sort of like barreled up to me. Like, hello, I'll be coming home with you. It's like, kind of looking for like a more chill, self-reliant cat. She's like still rubbing on me, and I was like looking at her little card. And her name was Tulip. I was like, oh, okay, all right, get in the cart. Okay. I will say this has been wonderfully cathartic. Of course, I have done one other Muni Made canvas, and incredible quality. This has been a joy to work on, but what I was going to say is that this has been wonderfully cathartic as well. So if you have this one in your collection, you've been waiting, it is worth it. It is as cathartic as you think. Not in a bad way. Not in like I don't know. I haven't felt like overwhelmed by it. It's been in a very good, very positive way. Yeah, so I don't know. Okay, let's do our specials. So we have 3 specials in this one. We have this like orange glow in the dark. We have a more translucent glow in the dark. And then this beigey AB. So because I was so excited about partly because I was excited about having multiple works in progress, and then partly because I realized the limitations of my little Tic Tac containers here. I purchased two more of the Art Dot jar containers. They're similar to the one I already have. I got another 60 jar container, and I bought one of the 120 jar container. So I purchased these Tic Tac containers for something else. I never really intended to use them for working on canvases. They were supposed to be for a storage solution for something else, and it didn't. I changed my mind. I used them for something else. So I have, I think, 4 of these, and I think they would work just fine for other smaller projects, and I want to keep using them. But now I don't know if I can can I do multiple works in progress, or is it going to continue to be like this, where I abandon something until I finish this other thing that I'm not more excited about this. It's like a compulsion almost. I just couldn't. I thought about getting my Hannah Lynn out the other day, and I just was like, I need this to be done before the end of July. Like I just need to wrap this up. So, whoops, that's too many. We'll just put you right here. Okay. So I don't know if I'll actually manage multiple WIPs, but what I was thinking is that it'll be really nice. I am happy to have more storage containers, storage solutions, right, with more Art Dot jar. What are they called? Oh my gosh. More Art Dot jar containers, whatever. More Art Dot storage solution. I'm excited to have more storage solutions. I'm just gonna leave it there. Oh my gosh. Even if I can't manage multiple works in progress, I realize that what I can do is I won't necessarily have to kit down in between work, like completions, which is what I've been doing, because I do really enjoy my jar system, and that's what I use for the most part. So when I'm done with something, I do the whole kit down process, which I have been considering as like part of finishing the project, but it would be so nice to just skip that part and get to the fun part of starting another project right away, which I can do if I have another 60 jar system empty. So I don't know if I'll be able to have multiple works in progress or not. But either way, I'm very happy to have more systems ready to go. And I am looking for some creative ways to use my Tic Tac containers, because they do work more nicely than I expected. Like when I first kitted this up in this, I was like, I think you flew too close to the sun, and like I know you were excited to start this kit, but this was a poor choice. But it really wasn't. It's turned out really nicely. Like I think I was just being a little bit too stuck in what I usually prefer. So this has turned out well. As far as other diamond painting things, I did. Whoops, sorry. Have I been off center this whole time? Probably. As far as other diamond painting things, I ordered from Fallon Gems this week. And from Diamond Artisan. Is that right? Is it Diamond Artisan Shop or just Diamond Artisan? I'm not sure. I will. Oops. Girl. You're driving me nuts. Fallon Gem, the owner of Fallon Gems reached out to me on Instagram. I think just because of the few images I've posted there of my diamond paintings, and she asked if I would be interested in doing some affiliate stuff. And I told her that I had been thinking about purchasing, but I wasn't able to commit to any sort of like affiliate stuff. But since she reached out, I went ahead and purchased from her. I got I'll unbox it for you guys when it comes. I think it's called Dreamscape Dragon. It's really cute. It's a little dragon just like asleep in a flower meadow. I'm excited for it. And then I was watching Diamonds and Washi. Katie from Diamonds and Washi unboxed something from Diamond Artisan Shop. It was really cute. She described it as lo-fi vibes, which I love. And I almost got exactly what she was unboxing. I'm going to mess it up. It was called like Spring Afternoon from Diamond Artisan. It was this adorable cat. Let's just take a moment and appreciate our beautiful section we just completed together. It was this beautiful cat. I almost got exactly what she purchased. But Diamond Artisan Shop, I don't know if it's still going on as of like the day that I'm posting this, which is July something. 20, I don't know what today is. What is today? Today is the 27th. Yikes. Today is the 27th. Congratulations, everybody. I know what day it is. I had to check. Today is the 27th. I don't know if it's still going on, but Diamond Artisan Shop was having sale. It's like 15% off, I think. But so I almost got exactly what she had ordered, which was that adorable little cat with a pastel, like lo-fi vibes that she was describing. I ended up getting something else, but I purchased because I swear every time that I'm like, you know what, like I'm gonna be easy with the spending, I'm gonna take it easy. Nope. I was also watching a WIP and chat from her where she talked about Diamood, which is a small shop in Spain, which is closed now. They just recently closed their doors. And it made me really sad. So I went and purchased from the small shop that she was talking about in the other video I was just watching from her. So not doing great on the spending. I also purchased some more print. That's wrong. I did that wrong. I also purchased some prints from Jeremiah Kettner. It's his birthday, and he did 25% off his shop. Okay, so what I figured out, which most of you probably already know, when you turn it upside down, so usually I would peel this way and then do the cover minder up here when I'm working on it from the other side. Well, when I'm working on it upside down, my arm would get in the way of the cover minder. So when I'm going at it this way, peeling it like hamburger style, makes more sense because then the cover minder's over here and I don't squish it. Should we do the specials first? Let's do the weird bubbles first, at least. That'll be fun. Let's do the specials first. you guys probably already knew that. Anyway, that's why I was annoyed with myself when I cut it on this side. Because I should have cut it up here. It doesn't matter. I will eventually cut it that side anyway to get rid of the cover sheet, but it's fine. What am I doing? I'm diamond painting. I'm trying to diamond paint. Dude. We are struggling. We do be struggling. Okay. What was I saying? Jeremiah Kettner. It was his birthday, so he gave us 25% off. And so I bought some more prints. I bought the Nico Mart print because I just haven't been able to grab it when it's been available as a diamond painting. So I grabbed it as a print for $15 with 25% off. And you know what? Great decision. And now we stop shopping again until there are other sales, or I feel bad about small shops closing and then I spend more money. That's just how it keeps going. It's fine. I just need to set a budget so I can stop. This is the thing. I'm like, okay, we're just not gonna. I just don't have I don't have a real plan besides like, okay, we're gonna not do it as much, and that's not like a quantifiable plan. So then I have feelings about it either way. Okay. So excited to get all my fun things. That was the other thing about finishing the walls, finishing the living room, is that I was able to put my prints up. I have prints from Molly Harrison. They're not. Most of them are like photographic prints. Is that right? Is that the right word? I think that's the right word. I have images from Molly Harrison and Lyra the Lavender Witch and Jeremiah Kettner and some of my own diamond paintings, and it was so nice to be able to put everything up. Feel so accomplished. So happy with that. Oh, I made a note because obviously struggling to keep my brain together. Speaking of diamond painting things, Jade at Jaded Gem Shop is having a sale because they're having a baby. Isn't that exciting? It's 20% off. So go check out. I think it's on her Instagram if you're not already subscribed to their newsletter. I talked a little bit about my health last time. I'm still taking the new pain medication. We're slowly increasing the dose. It's definitely helping. Doing okay with it. It is still struggling with like fatigue and weakness and like brain fog. Don't know if you guys know this. But doing okay. Yeah. So I did dive in this week to some really interesting stuff from some creators who have these programs for curing chronic fatigue syndrome. I don't have chronic fatigue syndrome. My diagnoses are hypothyroidism and Sjogren's syndrome and celiac disease and fibromyalgia. Did I say Sjogren's syndrome? Yeah, I said Sjogren's syndrome. But fibromyalgia is often lumped in with chronic fatigue syndrome, which is how I've found these interesting people. So it's been kind of interesting. There's some good ideas. I don't want to say necessarily negative things if they have been helpful for people. There are some positive things that I've seen. I got so annoyed at one point because I was watching this like hour-long testimonial from this person who was saying that she was cured of fibromyalgia by going through this program. And then at the end, she was like, and then the next time I had a flare up, I had a support group to rely on. And I was like, what? I thought you were cured. What happened to being cured? You're not cured. I was so mad. I was texting all of my friends. They were like, we don't know what you're talking about, but we're sorry for we think we're sorry. Like, yeah, you're right. You're right, you're sorry. Okay. Have a good night. No, they they understood uh the anger, but it was pretty funny. I just anyway, they have some helpful ideas. There's a lot of like misleading stuff at the front that you have to get through. But it's kind of interesting. I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those things where I have to dive into a lot of nonsense and get a few good things that make sense. Like have to sift through a lot of stuff, I think. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Health-wise, Winnie and Tulip are doing well. I don't know if I meant to mention earlier. Winnie and I had a brief disagreement about his grooming routine yesterday. Winnie is quite blind. And he does not groom himself. And so I only mention the blindness because it can make it difficult for him to understand like what I'm touching him with, maybe. Like it just adds another layer of difficulty because like I'm trying to groom him. He also has a vet appointment on Tuesday. So I have this mild fear of being judged. Oh, it's not mild. It's pretty intense fear of being judged by the vet of like, why does your cat look like Pigpen? I'm like, oh, it's just kind of his vibe. He just like he just prefers to be like this actually. Anyway, I try really hard to watch his body language. Also, Winnie and I are new to each other. When did I bring Winnie home? February? Yeah, so I guess we're at, wow, math is hard. We're at like 5 months now. But we're still pretty, for like a guy with special needs, we're still pretty new to each other. Anyway, I try hard to read his body language so that we don't get to the sassy Winnie point where he smacks me. But he got me yesterday. He was like, I'm done. Thank you. I'm like, you could just say that. You don't have to go straight. He's like happy, 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 and then straight for like angry. There's got to be something in between. We can surely work out because he's such a chill dude. Otherwise, it's like kind of a shock when he changes his mind real quick. Like, oh, okay, all right. Anyway, they're doing good. They're doing good. I've not been really I've been watching lots of YouTube. My fave. Just can't get enough of it. Watching lots of YouTube. I just started this weekend watching White Collar again. I just wanted something lovable and familiar, and man, that really hit the spot. Like trying to convince my friends, like, oh, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch this show, 2009. It's so good. I love them so much. It's so fantastic. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. I think we're gonna spend the rest of the day. I have a few little things I want to record, a few other things to record. But yeah, we're gonna spend the day diamond painting, relaxing. We might try to do a little grooming, Winnie. He's napping. He looks like a slug on the couch. He doesn't know what that word means anyway. Maybe I should start wearing like leather gloves or something. So I hope you guys are doing okay. I usually start with the disclaimer of like everything's terrible in the world right now. So I hope like I understand, and I do. Everything is terrible in the world right now. So if you're not doing okay, I understand. I'm doing as, I don't know, I guess as okay as you can at this moment. If I can help you, please let me know. Let's finish this color. This is 7. What is 7? I don't know. 223. Let's finish this color and we'll wrap up. But yeah, I hope you get a chance to create something this week. Hope you get a chance. I hope you. Whoa. Wow. Words are hard. Hope you feel safe wherever you are. As safe as you can feel. And if I can help you, please reach out. Really enjoyed chatting with you guys today. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Got a few more here. Ta-da. Is that everybody? Is that all the 7s? There it is. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Again, I said it twice now, I think, but if there's anything I can do for you, please reach out. I know this is, if you're in the United States especially, this is kind of a scary time, so if I can help you, please reach out to me. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a good week. I hope you get a chance to make something. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.